Hey everybody, welcome back to Two Car. Everybody, I made an announcement in my last video that the Jeep was probably the last time you're going to see that thing in the garage, and it is true. It is no longer in my driveway. The license plates are over there on my work table, and it's with its new owner in Wisconsin. So wanted to build a sub enclosure for the Honda and start fabbing some stuff up, but I need some room on my table. So what we're going to work on today is getting these speakers in the Honda. I went on a little bit of a shopping spree, getting some stuff for the Honda, and today we're going to use some of it so I can make some room on my table, so I can start building. But I bought these guys. These are some speaker adapters, along with some speaker wiring adapters, and these, I'll be honest with you, just make sense. Did not make sense to make these things when this whole package was like 15 bucks for a full set of 4 of these and a full set of 4 of these. So we're going to go ahead and see how well those fit today. The other thing I bought is these guys. These are some factory style tweeter pods that will go on the tops of the doors. If you had a factory tweeter, you can kind of stuff it right in here and replace the panel that you had. But I figured out a nice way to be able to utilize the ADS tweeters that I wanted to use in the Jeep, so I'll show you that here in a little bit. So guys, I'm going to try like hell here to go ahead and do all this and not stand in front of the camera, but it's going to happen. So first things first, what I got to do is I got to go ahead and take this door panel off. That tweeter pod is going to go ahead and fit right in here, and realistically, you can go ahead and get a pry tool and just pop this guy off. And there's some clips over here on the back side you're gonna have to move over, but for the most part it's gonna work out really well. So if you get a little bit of a hook tool and you can kind of pull this guy off, and the reason why you want to pull that off is because there's these little clips in here, and that thing just clips into there, and then you got a couple Phillips screws right back here. Your power window switch, your master switch, has got to come off. Best way to do that, guys, start over here in the corner and pop it up just like I did, and then it'll just pull off, and you've got some plugs underneath here to go ahead and disconnect. So guys, back before Google was invented, I had to kind of touchy-feely and play around with these door panels to figure out how to get them off. So typically with all these door panels, you're going to have screws here, you're going to have screws here, and then sometimes you got some screws on the bottom or on the side. So just kind of look at what you got going on. This has a little rubber piece. Put a hook tool in here and pull this guy out, and then it'll reveal the one screw that's underneath there. I knew it was going to happen eventually. You guys got a rear end shot. I'm familiar with how this door panel comes off, and I know I got all my screws out here and I got my screw out here. So basically, you can start in this lower right hand corner and then just pull, because it's a Honda and it sounds like it's gonna break, but I promise you, well, I'm not gonna promise anything, but it sounds like it's gonna break, but typically it will not. And then you can go ahead and there you go. So, your door lock. You can undo your cables, or you can push it through like I did. So we'll put this guy off to the side. It's got one Phillips up here. So we'll go ahead and spin that guy out. One long Phillips. And then really, this guy will pry out of here. Got some speaker gasket tape, and then it hooks down below. And there she is. Wrap the backside of this with some speaker gasket tape. We are going to go ahead and install this guy, and then we'll put that one Phillips screw. So guys, I went ahead and set up my little table here so I can talk to you a little bit about what I figured out with the tweeters. And if we look at the factory panel, you got one mounting point, 2 mounting points, and it clips in with these 2 guys, and then it hooks on the side of the door. If we look at this guy, it's It's got the same kind of hooks and it's got the same kind of mounting clips. So this is going to fit really nice and it's going to give it a clean factory look. The grill that came on this guy, it will basically go right into that spot there. Guys, I readjusted here a little bit because I thought I was filming and I really wasn't. These little tabs on the factory grill will flatten out. You can just push them straight out. I was able to utilize the double hole saw method to be able to make this hole a little bit bigger to be able to fit this tweeter pot up against the backside. Worked out really, really well. What I have to do now is I got to take these clips that I got right here, move them over to this guy, flatten this out so the tweeter will push through the new panel, and then I can solder some wires on and get this whole thing installed. My brother loves it when I do this. So this is all set and ready to go for the driver's side. I've got my clips moved over on the backside here. The tweeter pod is shaved down and CA glued and hot glued in its position. And if anybody has any experience with these ADS tweeters just mushroom out. So you could have them flat, you could have them curved. It really doesn't matter. They sound amazing. So I figured I'd give you guys a little bit of an update, and that tweeter is installed, ready to go with the grill on it. And you know what? Looks just like they do when they come factory equipped. Speaker adapter is installed and ready to go. We're going to put some gasket tape around there as well. We're going to try and reuse this foam, maybe a little CA glue, and try and reuse that foam and call it a day. I ran out of black, so we got to use brown, which, you know, hey, that's what the Germans use, so good enough for a Honda. We're going to go ahead and follow this mirror line down. Go ahead and wire it down, and then we're going to figure out where we're going to put that crossover. So guys, I figured now's a good time to stop so I can show you guys a couple things that I was talking about. So if we look at my tweeter wire has got that quick disconnect up there running down the factory loom, and we're going to go ahead and tie it in here. My input and output to my 6.5, there's my output to my 6.5. The input I got basically back here, wrapped it up with some cloth tape, and I'll be honest with you, take yourselves a minute, throw a couple wire ties on here. I always like to follow the factory looms, and you can see we got a loom that's coming straight up here and coming right here. So you're not gonna get in the way of the window track at all. Got all three, got input, 6.5, and my tweeter right here. Let me get this 6.5 mounted, and then we're gonna figure out where we're gonna put the crossover. So the neighbor's lawn guy was here, and he was making a lot of noise. But here's one of the reasons why I wanted to use this quick disconnect, because obviously I didn't realize when I put all this back together that I couldn't put the door panel back on without removing that. So it actually makes a nice way to be able to disconnect it. All my wiring that I installed is all running right down here, running down the factory loom and ready to go. Reuse the foam from the Jeep. So we're gonna go ahead and keep that baffled. Now for my crossover is going to find its new home right here in this little void. And I took some fabric tape and I wrapped it around the outside edge of the crossover, got some Velcro on the bottom there, and basically we're gonna put it in this area and hope to God it doesn't rattle. So there it is, guys, all back together. Got a real nice factory look. And if we look at that tweeter, I think that just looks great. Looks just like it would if it came with them. So off to the other side. having some serious technical difficulties right now, and I don't know how much of the last video I did filmed or not, but passenger side one is in. All my wiring is nice and neat. Some people say I use too many wire ties, but then again, I don't talk to those people anymore. Wrapped up the crossover in some foam tape, cloth tape, excuse me, so I can keep it from rattling up against the door panel. Got the plug right here. So we're gonna go ahead and install this guy and put it all back together and see how these fronts sound. So guys, I switched over to my iPad so I could show you the finished product here. Obviously, it looks just like it should from the factory. If you look over on this side, you can see the factory tweeter pods deal. And you know, what's a better way to test these things? By the way, I need gas. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. The audio actually sounded pretty good, and from where I was sitting, obviously those fronts need to be amplified. Don't know what I'm gonna do with this stuff from the Jeep, but if you got a Jeep out there, hit me in the comments. I'll give it to you. Next time, we're gonna finish the rears. I didn't really make a dent in this table, so I don't know. I want to build, so maybe next time I will start building. So guys, as always, thank you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.